Hi, today we are going to discuss about the queue. Here, what is meant by a queue is a linear data structure where the first element is inserted from one end called rear and deleted at the other end called as the front. Here, when we take a queue is open at both ends. One end is always used to insert the data, that is called as NQ, and the other end is used to remove the data, and it is called as the DQ. Whereas here, queue follows the first in, first out method. I'll give you the example. For example, if we take a line of people waiting for some event, whatever it may be, whenever we are standing in a queue, the first person in the line will be served first, and the last person will be served last. That is the example for the queue. Whereas here, so that the queue follows the first in, first out methodology or last in, last out methodology. Classifications of queues. Queues are classified into four types. What are these? Linear queue, circular queue, priority queue, and the double-ended queue. See here, linear queue, circular queue, priority queue, and the double-ended queue. And the priority queue is again divided into two types. It is ascending priority queue and as well as descending priority queue. And the double-ended queue is again divided into two types. That is input restricted DQ and the output restricted DQ. This we will discuss one by one. Now we will discuss about linear queue, or else it is called as the sequential representation of queues. How the queues will be represented is, the queues will be represented in the linear array called as queue, and this is also called as linear queue, and which contains the two variables, that is front variable and as well as the rear. Whereas the front contains the index of the front element, and whereas the rear contains the index of the rear element. In an empty queue, when we take the empty queue, rear will be stored with -1, and the front value will be the 0. When the first item is added into the queue, what will happen here is both the rear and the front will become 0. Whenever it is empty means it will be stored as rear will be -1 and front will be the 0. Whenever we are adding the item, automatically the front and rear values will be the 0. And see here the conditions. See the conditions here. What is the first condition is, if rear equal to front -1, then the queue is empty. And if rear equal to front means it contains only one element, that is the both are located in the 0th position. Whereas if rear value equal to n-1, here for example the queue that we have defined as 5 elements and it contains all the 5 elements, then the queue is full. And see here, this is the example. Here this is the front value. Front value, it is located in the first position, and this is the rear value. Here we have entered the 4 elements. This is represented as front and this is represented as rear. Always insertion will be done at rear position and the deletion will be done at the front position. And see the insertion and the deletion. Insertion is, it can be done only at the rear end. When the item is inserted, automatically what will happen is, here already here I have given up to 4th position, and here what will happen is, whenever we have inserted the element, it will be inserted at the rear position and rear value will be incremented by 1, so that in the 5th position the element is added and the rear value has been incremented. And the deletion will be done at the front end, and here whenever we have deleted the element, what will happen is only the element, the item in the first position will be deleted, and whenever we have deleted the element at the front position, automatically that value will be incremented by 1. That means the front value is 1 at the beginning. We have deleted the element called as 26, so that 26 was deleted and the front value was incremented to 2. This is the insertion and the deletion. And we will go to the conditions called as overflow and underflow. These already we have discussed in stack many times. What is underflow and what is overflow means, whenever we have deleted the element, or else if you want to delete the element, what we have to check is we have to check whether the queue is empty or not. If the queue is empty, what will happen is we can't able to remove the element. And even though if the queue is empty, whenever we are trying to remove the element from that empty queue, then there occurs underflow. That condition is called as the underflow condition. Here, if you want to delete the element, at least the queue must contains one element, one or more elements. If it is empty, we can't able to delete the element from the queue. That condition is called as the underflow. And see here, and what is overflow is, here if you want to insert the element, at the time what we have to check is whether the queue is full. If the queue is full means, for example, if we have entered the size as 5 and if the queue contains already 5 elements, is it possible to enter the new elements? Means it is not possible to insert the new elements. Why? Because already the queue has reached n minus 1 position. So that we have to check whether the queue is full or not. If the queue is full, then we can't able to insert the element in the queue, so that the condition is called as the overflow. This is about the different condition, that is insertion, deletion, underflow and the overflow. And the next one is queue as abstract data type. Queue as abstract data type. Here already I have given one example. If the people are waiting in a queue, the person who entered first will be served first and who entered last will be served last, so that it follows the first in first out method or else last in last out method. Here in this queue as a abstract data type, it contains different set of operations. What are the operations is, first one is creation of queue, add, delete, is empty, traverse and the count. What is create queue means, here we have to check whether we have created the queue with n elements or not. Adding means if you want to add the new element onto the end of the queue, we have to use this add operation. Delete operation is used to delete the element from the beginning of the queue. And is empty, here we have to check whether the queue is empty or not. If the queue is empty, it returns true, otherwise it returns false. Then traverse, what is meant by traverse is accessing all the elements in the queue. If you want to access all the elements in the queue, we have to use this traverse operation. Then count means we have to count the number of elements in the queue. These are the different set of operations needed for this abstract queue. And here what are the operations on this queue is, based on the actions that we are going to perform on this queue, it contains different types of functions. What are the different types of functions is, first one insert, delete, empty, display and the full. Insertion means we are going to insert the item I at the rear end, and deletion means removing the element I at the front end. Empty means we have to check whether the queue is empty or not. Display means it displays the items of the queue. Full means it have to check whether the queue is full or not. See the first one, I'll explain the one by one. Insertion, if you want to insert the element in the queue, first what we have to do is we have to check whether the queue is full or not. That condition is called as the overflow. We have to test the overflow condition. If the array is not full, then what we can do is we can insert the element in the queue, then it will be incremented by 1. See the algorithm for queue. Here we have to check if rear equal to n minus 1, then it will display queue is overflow. That means here I have given example also. Here this is the queue, this is the array elements that we have inserted, and we have given the n value as 5, and it will check whether the queue contains the 5 elements or not. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Already it contains the 5 elements, so that the queue is full. We can't able to insert the element, so that it will display queue is overflow. Otherwise, see here another example I have given, n equal to 5 and here it contains only 3 elements, so that there is a space to enter the another 2 elements, so that it is not overflow. Then what will happen is the rare value will incremented by 1, so that it will move to next position. The rare value will be incremented by 1, and here q of rare equal to, we can insert the item. That is, for example, if we have inserted 40, 40 will be inserted into the next position. Again again if you are trying to insert the another element, what will happen is again rare value will get incremented and the item will be added to the next incremented rare position. That is the insertion function. And see the next one, deletion. Here we can delete the element from the front end. Here deletion operation cannot be performed if the queue is empty. If we are trying to delete the element from the empty queue, what will happen is that condition is called as the underflow. Here the first step is for the deletion function, if rare equal to front minus 1, the front will be in the 0th position. If rare equal to, if it does not contains any element, then it is called as the underflow condition. Otherwise, if it contains the elements, here it does not contains any element, so that the queue is underflow. Then for example, if it contains the elements like 10, 20, 30, and this is the front position and this is the rare position, this is the rare, here it contains the 3 elements, so that what will happen is item equal to q of front. That means from where it has to remove the element is, it has to remove the element from the front position, and it will check the condition if front equal to rare. If it is empty means, if the front equal to rare, then front value will be 0 and rare will become minus 1. That means after removing again, if front equal to rare means, it will displace front equal to 0 and rare equal to minus 1. Otherwise, here see, here it contains only one element. This is the front and as well as this is the rare. Why? Because here it contains only one element. Whenever we have removed this element, automatically what will happen is front value will be 0 only and rare value will become minus 1. Otherwise, if it contains more elements, automatically what will happen is front value will be incremented by 1, so that the front will become to the next position. This is the deletion. And q empty operation, here it will returns 1 when the queue is empty and returns 0 when the queue is not empty. Here if the queue is empty, when the queue will empty means when rare equal to minus 1 and front equal to 0. See here, I'll explain the function for this. Is empty. If rare equal to front minus 1, then it will returns 1, otherwise it will returns 0. That means when it will be empty means if rare equal to front minus 1, that means rare value will be minus 1. If the rare value is minus 1, then it will returns 1, otherwise it will returns 0. And q full operation, it will returns 1 when the queue is full and it will returns 0 when the queue is not full. And if the queue is full, when the queue will be full means when rare equal to n minus 1, then the queue is full. See here, if rare equal to minus n minus 1 means, for example, here we have given only 3 elements and n equal to 3, 0, 1, 2 or else 1, 2, 3 position. This is rare and this is front. Here rare equal to n minus 1, that is 3 minus 1, that equal to 2. The rare value is n minus 1, so that it is full, it will returns 1, otherwise else it will return 0. And see the next one, display operation. It displays the items present in the queue. For this, Here we are using the for loop. See here we have defined the I value, and here we have to check if you want to display the elements. First we have to check whether the queue contains the elements or not. For that we have to check the condition. If rar equal to friend minus 1, that means if the rar value is minus 1, then there is no elements in the queue. We can't able to display the elements. Otherwise, I equal to friend, I less than rar, I plus plus, it will prints the elements from the queue, and it will prints the first element from the queue, and as well as it will prints the rar element. After displaying all the elements from the queue, it is going to display the front element as well as it is going to display the rar element. See here, I'll take this example itself. Here I have entered only 3 elements. We have to display all the 3 elements. For I equal to front, what is front means? I equal to 0. I less than or equal to rar. What is rar is 2. That is first front equal to 0. That is I equal to 0. I less than or equal to rar value is 2. That is 0 less than or equal to 2. The condition is true. If the condition is true means automatically what will happen is it will display q of I, that is the element 10 will be displayed, and as well as I value get incremented, that is 0 plus 1, it will become 1, I value is 1, again it will check 1 less than or equal to 2, the condition is true. If the condition is true means again it will print the q of I, that is 20 will be displayed. And again I value get incremented, 1 plus 1, that will become 2, again 2 less than or equal to 2, equal to 2, the condition is true, so that it will print the third element 10, 20 and 30. And again I value get incremented, I will become 3, 3 less than or equal to 2, the condition is wrong, so that already we have displayed all the 3 elements. And what is the front element here is, this is the front element and this is the rar element. After displaying all the elements, it is going to display the front element, and as well as the rar of the queue is q of rar. This is about the linear queue. In the next session, we will discuss about the circular queue.